Yo, yo, yo. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the emergency podcast, Max&JuanCast. Max, how you doing, bro?
Dude, I'm doing good. It was crazy yesterday, and I guess kind of today my heartstrings were a little bit played with. You know why? But I think we're going to get into that a little later.
I just want to start off saying, God, I love football. I love the NFL. I mean, full fucking swing. NBA getting riled up. No baseball going on. And the NFL is just dropping fucking Ian
Bangers.
Rappaport bombs.
Yeah. Well, I was equivalent to a rap bomb instead of a Woj bomb. Dude,
But
I honestly didn't think it was going to happen, and it was really a hectic day because, I mean, look, if we're going to get into it, you should start like this. And this is kind of how the day went. Me and Juan see the alert on our phone. Aaron Rodgers was a 4 years, $200 million, staying in Green Bay.
Yep.
The big question of the offseason was, will Rodgers go or stay? Well, when we got our decision from him, he's staying. Apparently the contract, because he went on Twitter and had a weird statement. That's shocking, right? Something weird from Aaron Rodgers? Not really. Yeah. So when that happened, what was your immediate thought when he re-signed with Green Bay?
I mean, this happens. Like, usually a Hall of Fame player like Aaron Rodgers, they stay unless something crazy happens, like an injury or, they're too old. Like, Rodgers is at the peak of his powers right now. He's coming off of 2 straight MVPs. It was gonna, like, he was staying in Green Bay. I said it when we did our yearbooks. I was like, my feeling right now is that he's gonna stay. Like, that's what I'll put my money on. And that's what happened. It wasn't that surprising.
Would you go like as far to say as maybe a year ago we thought there's no way he's coming back, and here we are, he's back. Come for long term.
I don't think so.
Well, it just seemed like all signs were pointing to like a breakup, but that's not always the case. And like you said, one Hall of Fame player stays with the team that drafted him, team he spent 15 years. My immediate thought one was like, damn, you know who the big loser of this whole fiasco is? Not Green Bay, the Broncos. But then they were like, we're going to steal the headline. F you, Aaron Rodgers. It's our time to shine. They trade for Russell Wilson. And I believe we have a graphic of what was traded for the people who are watching. Open your eyes. Or was it, what do we say? Open your ears.
Open your ears.
Open your ears. So for the audio listeners out there, who we love, absolutely adore them. Russell Wilson is traded to the Broncos for Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, Drew Lock, a 2022 first-round pick, which is the 9th pick of this draft, a future first, a future second, a second-round pick this year, and the 5th-round pick in 2022. They also get a 4th-round pick, the Broncos, but no one cares about that 4th-round pick. They just care about Russell Wilson. So I think we should start with the winners and losers one, and we can kind of work our way into some of the storylines. So where do you want to start?
You said for winners and losers?
Yeah, so who's your big winner of this trade?
I mean, it has to be the Denver Broncos. They got the superstar in this trade. The more I think about it, the more I think the Broncos didn't give up enough for a guy like Russell Wilson. I don't care what anyone says. I just think they should have got more. I know it's a lot. It sounds like a lot, but it's really not. It's the best thing in that trade is the 9th overall pick. And it's not even that good because
the quarterbacks are not even
loaded. I mean, all those guys are solid. The best.
That's a Raider, though, That's your boy.
I mean, yeah, he's good. He's good. Like, Noah Fant, like, whatever. Like, the guy hasn't produced, though. Drew Lock, fucking trash.
How can Noah Fant produce? This is what I'm saying. Like, he's had dog shit his whole life.
Yeah, and then plus, like, I believe most of these guys are expiring in a couple years. So, I mean, look, I thought they should have got at least 3 first-round picks. This is a Hall of Fame in his prime quarterback.
Well, I think that's where a lot of people are going to push back.
He's only 33. He's only 33. That's not old.
But people are going to say he's been on the downslope. That is, the last 2 years have been bad from him. He's never really been a great quarterback on third down. They went
12-4 last year before this year. How is that a bad year?
I agree. He's I wouldn't say he's at the peak of his powers because I think he slowed down a little bit, but 80% of Russell Wilson's still a top 10 quarterback. And for a team that's just had nobody since Peyton retired, you're like, wow, we just got a marquee guy. I think Russell Wilson also has a little bit of like the Cam Newton, Tom Brady effect where like you get him, it's like, I'm a winner now. Like, oh, we had this guy, we have a chance to win every Sunday. And I mean, initially I was like, I don't think this is that bad of a package. But the more I think about it for Seattle, unless it's fire sale time, this move is kind of like head scratching. I get he wants out, and I get it was last year. Remember, he had the cryptic stuff, and I think he said he'd go to the Raiders and 4 other teams.
Yeah.
But the big winner for me is the receivers on the Broncos: Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Tim Patrick. I don't know what they're going to do with a guy who can throw the ball consistently to them. I'm sure they're just rejoicing. So, I mean, if you're in I have a lot more losers than winners, bro. I don't know about you. Like, I only have one more win. I feel like this might be like the first domino to fall, and just like maybe the NBA trade season will come to the NFL, especially for marquee guys. So maybe player empowerment's a winner
I don't think so. I
for the
think
superstars, maybe because like a mid-level guy will never have that much power in the NFL. They're like, whatever, we don't care.
I don't think it's like something crazy like the NBA though. Like in the NBA, you see guys like James Harden coming off of teams within less than a year almost. Like Russell Wilson played for the Seahawks for almost a decade. Like it's not like, oh, like this shit sucks. Like I'm just gonna willy nilly just move anywhere. And then I think like the big one, if anything, the player empowerment move, if it would have got bumped up to me, would have been the Aaron Rodgers situation, or even a situation like Deshaun Watson if he didn't have the legal stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
think those two guys, if anything, like those are two guys forcing their way out. Russell Wilson, he did it in the most quiet way. He never said anywhere publicly like, "Oh, like I want to get traded." It was just more like his agent putting out shit like, "Oh, if I got traded, I would like to go here. I would like to go there." Seattle was saying, I mean, it was a bunch of fluff. It was a bunch of bullshit. But
No
Seattle
intent
was,
to trade Russell
yeah, no
Wilson.
intent, yeah, all that. Like it was in a real quiet way the way it happened. So I mean, I'm just shocked the fact that they didn't give up more. I'm just
You would think they'd get Patrick Surtain in this deal, or maybe Justin Simmons. Maybe not him, but you would think they'd get some young star that
no.
was just like, wow, holy crap. We have like a building block. I wouldn't say they have a building block that got traded on the Broncos side. Like, I don't really think you gave up anyone like the player. You're like,
Yeah.
wow, I can't believe you gave that guy up. But
I just
like
rather I
maybe if worst case happens, you're gonna win this trade for Seattle. Like if Russ gets hurt and they go like 2-15 next year, but I doubt that.
I
Russ has
doubt
been
it.
pretty healthy, exactly. So
Yeah.
you're kind of like playing it unrealistic odds to hit those picks. And it's not like Seattle with first round picks has a great track record. One,
Yeah. And I would say a couple of winners would be the LOB and Marshawn Lynch. I think it's kind of like foreseeing.
uh,
It's kind of foreseeing of like what these guys were talking about all these years. Like, did you see what Richard Sherman tweeted? Like something about like you live so long to be the hero that you
then you
wind up being
yeah
the villain.
you either
And
die
like
a
Bobby
hero or
Wagner,
see yourself
yeah,
become the villain. Yeah,
and
yeah. I mean, it happened to all of them.
Yeah, and Bobby Wagner winded up retweeting it. Like you would think, Max, a guy like Bobby Wagner, a guy like Richard Sherman, or just like any kind of like teammates that played with Russ, winning a Super Bowl with Russ.
Like a
Like none of
farewell, love you, bro.
nothing. None of this. Like even look at Darius Leonard with Carson Wentz. Yeah, he played fucking terrible. But look
Hey,
what Darius Leonard said, like on Twitter, talking about like, hey, like I appreciate you, my guy. Like, you know, like best of luck. Nothing from no teammates, bro.
do you think this is gonna be like a KG and like Ray Allen situation with Russ when like the Seahawks teams have their like reunion and like they don't want to fucking talk to him?
Possibly,
I
possibly
mean, it
because
seems like they're not on great terms for sure.
it's not that I don't think it's the fact that he's like an asshole or anything. I don't think anyone says that Russell Wilson's an asshole.
I don't think Ray Allen is an asshole either. I just think those guys are kind of just like, bro, you like betrayed us or something weird because
no,
you
I
had
don't
the
think
thing
it's
with they were trying to make him the face of the team. And you hear that in the Super Bowl. He didn't
I
want to run the ball with Marshawn.
I think it's more of just him not being straight up with guys. Like he's known to
Phony,
be,
corny.
yeah, he's not really corny, but more the first one. Like he is kind of like a phony, like he he doesn't give himself out to others. You know what I mean? Like he's kind of like a robot all the time. You don't really get to see the
Well,
real
they said
Russ.
he never once like hung out with teammates after a game or
Yeah,
after a
he's just
practice,
weird. He's
which is
quirky,
weird. That's weird. For
But
sure. Do you have any other winners?
no, that's it. I mean, the winner
I
of
got
that
some
is
great losers.
let's do the losers.
Can I start it off?
Yeah, go ahead.
Derek Carr.
How's
It's
he a
not fair.
loser?
It's not fair that you're the worst quarterback in your division, and that's all anyone's gonna. Because that's all I've been
I mean,
seeing
you
was
might as well
like,
throw in the whole Raiders then as
that's what I'm
losers.
saying. I'm like, it's not fair. It's to Derek Carr that he's just gonna get clowned because the other guys are like on a different level than him because he's still really effing good. And
Yeah,
I've been seeing people talk about. I don't want to turn this into a pro Derek Carr thing because you're just going to get your like rocks off. But I've been seeing people talk about how Derek Carr's supposed to compete, how the Raiders supposed to compete with them. With Carr, I'm like, you totally can. First of all, that's just what I would say. And just the AFC West in general, man, it's going to be the best division of football for sure. It
yeah.
just doesn't seem like there's any
And
way around. It's like
we'll
three
get
good
into
teams to
that,
start with.
and we'll get into that in a couple of minutes because I know you have something lined up for that as far as
Mhm.
quarterback wise. Some more losers.
I had the Washington football team because they missed out on Russ, but they made a splash move of their own, which we'll get into
Yeah,
a little later too. DK and Lockett. Sorry, guys. Have fun.
yeah.
Have fun not getting yards
I mean,
anymore.
DK is probably looking for Russell
Gone.
Wilson or looking for Pete Carroll right now. Like
Didn't you have the
mad
meme where
as
like the
shit.
bulked up dude like just like
Yeah.
flex walking? Like I mean, I feel bad for okay, would you do this? Would you add Judy to the trade if you also got Lockett?
I mean, it's hard. It's hard because I did think about this aspect too. It's not like Seattle could have got the best deal possible. Because the best deal possible, obviously, you want other pieces, but you have to make it so whatever team that Russell Wilson is getting traded to, he's gonna want to be on board for it. So let's say like that was an option. Like, hey, we want Jerry Judy. And then you bring it to Russ, everything is finalized, everything is down. And then Russ is like, wait a minute, I'm not gonna have Jerry Judy when I get there. Like, no, deal
I don't.
off. I'm
It's
not
kind of
going.
like when they traded Melo to the Knicks in a sense, where it's like, yeah, you're at the Knicks now, but now your team's gutted. So, are you real?
Yeah.
Do you really still
Well,
want
the
to be
thing
like in
is,
a sense? No, I'm saying like in the sense that instead of being like Melo and like, yeah, it's like no, like keep the team intact a little bit. So when I
right,
get there, I have something. It's not like I'm just on the Knicks and now they're like we're a shell of what we were the first half of the season or something.
right, yeah. I
And go ahead, one. Sorry.
the fact that Trey Lance went for
Oh
more. The fact that Trey Lance went for more, I think it's just my
no,
like
I mean he didn't really though. He didn't because think about it. They keep saying 3 first round picks. Well, hey asshole, you got a first round pick for him, so you really just traded 2. And I'm
right.
not calling you an asshole. I'm just saying. Also, he's 12 years younger. So, and again,
I think
it's
people are
not like you're
putting way
trading
too
for
much
Trey
age
Lance
on it.
though. You're trading for the 3rd overall pick in the draft. And like I've always talked about, I think the idea of that pick's worth more than the guy in some cases. It's like,
Mhm.
would you rather have Jordan Love or the 27th pick in the draft? Which sounds better? It's like, damn, that 27th pick could be the guy of our future. We don't know. And that whole
Right.
idea, I think, is what like led to Trey Lance being picked the 3rd and all that trade capital. And
Yeah.
they moved back from super far too. It's not like if this was Russ maybe 2 years ago, I think this is going to be like 5 first round picks or something insane.
Do you think they give up the right amount, or do you like it? Like,
If
what do
I'm
you think about it?
Seattle, I mean, look, they said they had a better offer from Washington because they wanted to keep him out of the conference. I'm on board with that. I totally get that in a sense. But if you're going to do a hard reset, what the hell do you care if he's in Washington? You know what I mean? And this is my last huge loser one, and then you can get some of yours. The Jamal Adams trade just seems really effing stupid now that you just traded Russ. Maybe Jamal Adams will find his form on a bad team like he did for all those years on the
Hey
Jets.
man, all part of Pete Carroll's plan. John
Look,
Snyder.
I just don't get it. Like, so maybe now you build the defense and now you have the LOB again and you have Cam. He's Cam, I guess, in this scenario. But why would you trade 2 first round picks for him if you're not going to compete? Like, I thought that's why they paid him all that money, right? So you could compete with Russ, and it just doesn't make sense to me.
I think it's just one of those things where an all-in went wrong. You can
Mhm.
easily said that about the Rams when they gave up everything, and if they wind up losing in the first round, everything goes downhill. And you say, why the hell did you make that trade? The Seahawks thought that they were one piece away, and it winded up failing. It's one of the cases where the shit failed and it didn't work. Um, Luckily now they got some back. I'm not saying it was worth it at all, 100% not. Like, but the Seahawks are done. Like, I don't know what the hell they're doing. In my opinion, they're done. I don't care about all this talk about
Well, it's a hard
Deshaun
reset,
Watson going
right?
there.
No,
Uh,
why the hell would Deshaun wanna go to a team
Their
like that?
franchise. I mean, if I'm a Seahawks fan and I'm waking up today, Max, I'm like, our franchise is done. 2 years minimum. We're done.
Well, I would and, it also sucked Bobby Wagner got cut, which kinda hurt. I was like, "Damn, like, that's, like, the last guy." Like, yeah, that's
Mhm.
Bobby Wagner. He's one of the best linebackers we've ever seen. If I'm a Seattle fan, I'm thinking, "Okay, we're gonna take a quarterback at 9. We're gonna just try to run the ball like Pete Carroll wanna build up this defense, and then maybe we get lucky," but that's a year or 2 away. Maybe 2. Yeah, you're, like, 2 years away, like you said, and that's a
Look,
tough pill to swallow.
I would, I would, I would say if they're trying to be in the middle of anything of like contending still, like teams have that weird kind of middle ground, kind of like the Vikings. It's like, yeah, we should rebuild and go all in for the young guys, but we still are kind of good enough to compete. So we're kind of like in the middle.
But
Like,
one,
see,
they don't play in a shit division, though. They're gonna play in a meat grinder division where you can maybe
and
pencil them in
but
for 5 or
this
6
is
losses a year.
this is the thing. Everyone wants to argue that Russell Wilson was bad last year, on the downfall. But one, he had injuries. But number two, I mean, wouldn't you argue the NFC West, if not the best division in football, the second best? He went 3-3. Like, they beat the 49ers twice. They swept them. Like, that's a big deal. They even beat the Cardinals once. Like, Russell Wilson is good he is definitely like one of those players that you can hitch your wagon on,
But
and he
don't you
can carry
think
you farther than what you are.
but don't you think if they kept him, then they would be that middling team?
I don't think so, man.
I don't know. I think, like, honestly, I think with Russ, like, they're still the worst team in the division, don't you? Like, just as a team wise. And I know he gives you a chance to win, but I don't know. I feel like this was a chance to avoid that potential of maybe we go 7-8 one year or 8-9 or whatever. Now
It's
it's
just
like
weird.
it's
I mean,
weird. I mean, he wanted out.
Pete
I guess they
Carroll's
did right by
old.
him.
Like
So,
Pete Carroll's old. Like, how many years does he have left of
well, I
actually
feel like this
coaching?
kind of signifies, like, yeah, I'm going to be here a while. Because why the hell did you want to be a part of the rebuild? He's either going to be there like 3 to 4 more years, or he's done after this year.
And you know what, Max? A big point that I kind of grasp on with this trade that a lot of people don't talk about. Both of these teams, like, respectfully, don't really have owners at this time. Like, both of the
Broncos
owners
are going to be up
recent
for sale, right? They're up for
yeah, both
sale,
of these
and
teams are possibly going to be up for sale. Like, the owners that are here now, I think it's like the siblings of both of them, of Paul Allen and Bolden.
yeah,
Um,
maybe the NFL can veto this trade. Get some Chris Paul
I know,
action
right?
going.
No, but I wouldn't be surprised in the next 2 or 3 years, or maybe four, both of these teams have completely different ownership. And that's a big deal when you're doing big time. It's a main reason why a lot of these trades never happen. Like, wouldn't you argue, Max, this is probably the biggest trade in NFL history since, like, what, Herschel Walker? Think of a bigger trade than this.
It's
An
probably
actual
bigger because
trade.
of the way the quarterbacks are now. Yeah, it's like the owner usually signs off on it. It's like, I'm not trading
Right.
that guy.
But
F
that's
you.
why it never happens though, Max.
Mhm.
Like, I like, for instance, like you're saying, like, you're thinking like a GM, think like an owner, think like a money man. You're saying, oh, you know what? We should trade this guy. Like, even if we keep him, we're probably gonna be middle of the pack. Like, we're
Yeah,
not gonna
sell
be
out
there.
some
The owner's like,
tickets, help the
yeah, the
bottom
owner is
line
like,
out.
why the fuck am I gonna get rid of Russ? That's my money guy. That's the guy I can post on the fucking stadium.
No, I get it, one. I get why it's weird, but I think it was the writing was on the wall in a sense, you know? And I'm sorry to tell you, one, you're probably in the toughest division of football. I'm gonna repeat myself, and this is Russell Wilson top 10 quarterback. Derek Carr, potential to be a top 10 quarterback, if
I
not
think
a
all
top 10 quarterback. I
I think
think
all
you have
four
4
of them
top
are
10
top 10.
quarterbacks. So we got Herbert, Mahomes, uh, Russell Wilson, and Derek Carr. And I did some research and we went back, if you want to go there now, to the best division like by quarterbacks in 2010. So I compiled all the best quarterbacks in the division the last 10 years. So like I picked 1 year out. For instance, 2012 I went with the NFC East, which is rookie RG3, Mike Vick, Tony Romo, and Eli Manning.
Solid.
It's not close.
Wasn't long lived though.
No, because Vic's on the way out.
Yeah.
Eli's still good. Romo's still good. RG3 though 1 year. So then you want me to hit the other one? So that's the NFC East one I figured out.
Yeah.
The 2016 NFC South. Cam, fresh off the MVP. Matt Ryan, who's going to win MVP. Drew Brees and Jameis Winston.
Jameis just fucking
Jameis brings it down, right? That's 3 top 10s and then Jameis. Or how about the 2018 AFC South? Andrew Luck, Deshaun Watson, rookie Watson, Tannehill, and Bortles. But there's Bortles, right?
Yeah.
The 2014 AFC North, I'm not going to get into because you have the Browns quarterback, so it doesn't matter. And how about 2021 NFC West? Kyler, Jimmy, Stafford. Kyler?
That one's solid. I mean, look, the NFC
but Jimmy
West
G's not as good as Derek Carr. That's what I'm saying. Like this is probably the best division.
Yeah, it's not even close, dude. I mean, it's just crazy to me, dude, because like to me, this is the biggest trade in NFL history since Herschel Walker. You look back at every quarterback that has been dealt. It's always been like a different kind of situation. Like Peyton Manning, he wasn't essentially traded to the Broncos. He was cut. He was released by the Broncos. They thought by the
he can't play football anymore.
Yeah, the neck thing, like everyone thought he was done.
Drew
Even
Brees,
a guy like Tom,
same thing.
Yeah, Drew Brees, Tom Brady. Tom Brady was a free agent. Like they essentially released him. Like I've never seen it ever in my life. Maybe a middling quarterback, like the Kirk Cousins of the world or like Jimmy G's of the world, but I've never seen a future Hall of Fame quarterback get traded like
by the team that drafts him too, which is like a little after.
I'm shocked. Years. Like I'm absolutely shocked.
Like I know Joe Montana got traded one, but it's like you had a Hall of Fame quarterback right there in Steve Young.
Right.
It's been a while. He's clearly on the downslope. I don't think he's at the peak of his powers. I don't think Russ is at the peak, but he's still damn near close. Like
I think he's at the end of his prime right now.
Yeah.
In my
so it'd be kind of like trading for. Trying to think who's like a good compare. Like I would say, I don't really have a good one. I was gonna say maybe like Melo, but Melo was at.
Would you argue? I mean, it's kind of like I'm not trying to compare this exactly, but I'm just saying like a good little parallel. Didn't KD spend like 9 years in OKC?
Yeah, about 10 years. Yeah, he was there
about 10 years. Same thing as
no,
Russ.
Maybe not 10, but he was there a while. He signed an extension with them, and then he let him want because KD's what 07 draft, I think. He left in 16.
Yeah,
so 9 years. 9 years. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, and then we saw KD, like he's probably arguably still in his prime, but you can argue primes are longer in basketball than football. But what were you gonna say?
No, I just said I mean, that was just I like the comparison. Yeah. The only difference is this might be not the God Squad that he joined in the Warriors, not coming off like a 16-0 team basically.
Let's talk about it. I think that's the last thing to do, and then we'll move on to some other news because there's a bunch of news. But Broncos as a whole, looking at it, we talked about the division. We know how hard it's going to be. Are they a Super Bowl contender? Automatically, do we just put them in that bracket?
No, I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender.
I'm glad you said that because I completely agree with you.
And it's not like I don't believe they have a chance, but a contender to me is someone I'm like, they have a higher than 40% chance. Not say like 30% chance that like a potential to get there, right? Are they even going to get to the playoffs? And I know that sounds crazy to say, right? But you're just in a meat grinder of a division.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like, are they better than the Chiefs?
No.
Is he better than the Chargers? Like maybe.
Yeah.
And also, like Russ is the third best quarterback in this division, and that's no shots at him. That's just a testament to the other two guys in the division. So I mean, it's tough. Like now you have a chance to compete. So they're a division contender now. They're not just the laughing stock of the division anymore. So they're in the hunt for the playoffs. They're a playoff contender for sure.
Yeah,
Super Bowl, I don't know about that. Let's see this team play.
Right. I
New
want to
coach
see them play.
on. New coach. It's not like Peyton Manning stepped into a good situation. Like that Broncos team was loaded that when he got there. They just had Tim Tebow playing quarterback.
They were a playoff team.
They're a playoff team, yeah. This Broncos team has been bad. And I know Vic Fangio's kind of made them a little better. Like they weren't awful, but maybe their biggest hole was quarterback. So maybe you can draw some comparisons. But still, I want to see a little more from this Broncos team.
Little bit of an unproven staff with the Broncos, like you mentioned. Like Peyton Manning going to the Broncos, I believe they had John Fox at the time. John Fox made it to a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Nathaniel Hackett, it's his first time coaching.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot. Look, I'm really glad you said that, Max, because I didn't want to sound like a hater of the Broncos.
Well, he had a better chance on the Raiders for sure.
We'll see about that.
I just wanted to backhand you real quick.
We'll see about that. Everyone's counting out the Raiders, but I think if anything, this is a great thing for the Raiders because I think it accelerates the process of trying to compete right now. Like this is our shot. This is the fucking do it. And I just hope we don't fucking rebuild. I don't want that. I want to compete. Well, I'm Josh McDaniels.
Well, I think, and I'm sorry to keep cutting you off. I do apologize, but I feel like the Chargers, they had the most cap in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Even though they just spent $20 million on Mike Williams. We're not going to really talk about him. They're in a one now mode. They got the Herbert. They got the rookie contract. We're going to go all in. Chiefs, they're a contender off bat.
Regardless.
Raiders, we're a playoff team. Like you said, if they want to contend, they have a chance. I'm not going to write them off. And the Broncos, even after they get Russ, they're going to have $25 million to spend. I feel like you spend that $25 million on solidifying the O-line a little bit. Maybe you don't need a running back. Maybe you have some depth there. You got Javonte Williams, who's really good. And maybe just add one defender guy, and maybe you have a team. Like, it's good they have $25 million. It's not like they can't spend any money. So
right. Just before we move on, 1 out of 10, rate the fit with Russell Wilson in a Bronco uniform.
It's gross for sure.
Really?
Yeah,
Orange Crush.
I'm not a big Bronco. The only Bronco jerseys I like are the all navy ones.
How awkward is it gonna be when you have the guy who beat the living shit out of you in the Super Bowl?
It's pretty awkward, but you can
get over it quick.
You can make the case Jimmy G's been playing on a team that low-key's cost a Super Bowl. Russ was playing on Seattle. He low-key cost them a Super Bowl. So a little awkward. But no, I mean, it's definitely, I'd say 7. 7. Just, I think it's a safe number because he's a great quarterback. He'll probably make it work. Just be a little less weird as like a dude.
On fucking fire today, dude. Or yesterday, should I say? Kind of calmed down today, but on fire as far as NFL news. Have some more stuff right here.
So do you like this trade more than the Wentz trade?
Carson Wins, bro.
Contender, dog.
Rate this fit. Hey,
dude, he's Russ. He's Westbrook, dude. New every year.
Carson Wentz officially traded to the Washington Commanders, a.k.a. the football team, a.k.a. the Redskins, a bunch of shit. So, Commanders, they obviously receive Carson Wentz. Colts receive back 2 third-round picks.
One of the third-round picks can be a second-round pick if he plays 70% of the snaps.
Are you serious?
Yeah, deadass, yeah.
Oh, my God. All right. My initial thoughts on this one. I mean, I think it's a fucking win for the Colts, dude. Look, they already lost. They lost last year. It's a complete failure. I'm not saying that. I'm saying they're a winner because they found someone to take this motherfucker's contract on. They're taking the whole thing with the Commanders. The whole fucking contract.
It doesn't make sense at all for the Commanders to just.
I mean, they got the crumbs. They got the crumbs.
Like, I guess what? So you're just like, okay, we're just going to play a lot of defense, run the F out the ball. But it's still like, that's what the Colts recipe was last year. Right. So, I mean, the Colts defense was probably a little better than football team. So maybe you're betting on that. This has huge Donovan McNabb vibes. Just going to the football team, ex-Eagle quarterback. Look, man, I think I can officially say I'm done rooting for Wentz now that he's in the division rival.
Really?
So
That's
I mean,
it?
I still want him to do good a little bit, but I'm not going
The
to
funny
actively
thing
root for him.
is the funny thing is he's gonna have to play Philly twice,
Yeah.
and the NFC East plays the Colts this year. So we're gonna see a Colts
A lot of Carson Wentz
Wentz
revenge
reunion.
tour. I
Yeah,
hope he balls out secretly. Look,
he's
I want the
not.
football team to suck. I just don't know why you give that much. I mean, I don't even think that's a lot of draft capital, but like really, that was the going rate for Carson Wentz.
I think the biggest thing is like the contract to me. Like fuck the picks. The picks are what they are, you know. But the fact that you're taking on his whole contract and you're giving up compensation, it's just like, geez.
I
Like
mean,
if Carson Wentz goes for that, I can only imagine what Jimmy G can go for.
definitely, I'd say at least the second, minimum of 2, maybe 2 second.
Yeah.
Maybe
That
they get,
that really that brings my confidence. If I'm a Niner fan, if I'm Joey sitting at home, our resident Niner fan, I'm
but
happy that Carson Wentz went for that.
maybe they just waited a little too long. Maybe the market dried up because now who are the only teams that need quarterback? The Colts. So if the Colts say F you, which I would find very hard to believe because they're a smart organization, unless the Colts don't take Jimmy, I feel like the landing spots just got even less for him.
I think as far as the landing spots go, Max, before the draft, I think you're gonna see a lot of spots open up after the draft, after training camp. There's that, I like to call it the Sam Bradford period.
Yeah, shout out to that.
Exactly. You still gotta wait, bro. There's spots are gonna open up. So
So
it depends how the Niners play it
real
with the
quick,
waiting game.
here's the only places I think Jimmy could go. And you tell me if it's feasible. Tampa,
Yeah, most definitely.
New York Giants,
I don't like that spot. No.
Miami,
Like it. Yes. Familiar with
Colts,
Mike McDaniels. Colts, yes. Take Jimmy G. Hey, look, Jimmy G is used
Saints.
to fucking Max. Jimmy G is used to fucking handing off the ball.
Yeah, definitely. Oh,
You'll have no problem with
he's the
Taylor.
best handoff quarterback in the
Oh
league.
yeah, he'll hand
Saints,
that motherfucker off. I like the Saints too. The Saints thing is just the money wise. I
what
don't think he's
about
gonna get money there.
the Raiders?
No, the Raiders won't pick him up.
I just thought of a very feasible plan.
What's that?
Carr's gone for a first to the Colts and some change. Josh McDaniels needs his guy, bro. No, someone who's a little familiar with the system, knows the terminology.
Oh man,
I mean, that low key makes sense, right? Which is scary. Like it could make a little bit of sense.
So.
I doubt it, but it has some merit. The thinking behind it's not insane. It's just like,
well, the crazy thing is, I hate to go back on the Russell Wilson trade, but you would think, why wouldn't Seattle get a package from the Raiders? Like, wouldn't you want Derek Carr in return
maybe
instead
Josh
of Drew Lock?
McDaniels didn't.
Yeah, there. Of course, it has to play with
Derek, you still kind of compete, but
like, what do you give up? Just Derek Carr and a first. That's it.
No, Carr, Cleveland, a first, Jonathan Abram.
To me, like
Jamal.
when you're giving up Carr, it's equivalent to a first round pick.
Yeah, I'd go with that. Huh?
So I'll be like, okay.
So Locke was like a 5th round pick equivalent?
I think Locke, Shelby Harris, and Noah Fant were all combined to be worth for a 2nd round pick.
A high second, though, like the 36th pick in the draft.
Yeah, Noah Fant has probably the most value because he's still young.
I would look at it like Fant's a 1st round pick. Then you subtract Locke, you're at like a 3rd. Then you're like Shelby, who's like a 2nd. You're like, all right, I'll take it.
All right. Yeah. I wouldn't have taken it, but yeah.
But no, that trade was shocking to say the least. And I guess that's football team. I guess they're kind of scarred for trading a lot of big things for quarterbacks, but I kind of get that.
Yeah. And like, I just don't like the fit, bro. Like,
he gonna be learning how to hand the ball off a lot.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully the Terry McLaurin winds up coming out of this, a little bit better, right? Just a little bit.
How many weeks before Heineke takes the job?
Probably like 4, because Carson Wentz is like a fucking battery ram. Like fucker is just.
He's gonna try to like truck Jamal Adams or something in the open field. Yeah,
I've never seen a quarterback just fucking wing it. so much.
Brett
He's
Favre?
literally like Brett Favre. Yeah, but like he's Brett Favre in running too. Like
He's like Brett Favre with like a shot of whiskey in him. He's like, all right,
right,
we're good to
right.
go.
But is that it about Carson Wentz?
I'm good. Is there? I think we maybe have one more thing to hit real quick.
I want to hit this. I got a graphic for you.
Okay.
Just if you have any thoughts on any of these guys. These are the guys who got franchise tags, some of the notable guys. We got Devontae Adams from the Packers, Chris Godwin, Bucks, Orlando Brown from the Chiefs, Jesse Bates from the Bengals, Cam Robinson from the Jaguars, Mike Gesicki from the Dolphins, David Njoku from the Browns, and Dalton Schultz from the Cowboys. All of these guys have been tagged by their team. A lot of these guys, me and Max predicted. If you guys watch our yearbooks, make sure to go check that out. Any surprises
Shameless.
here though? Any thoughts on these guys?
Just Cam Robinson, second year in a row, he's getting tagged. So I mean, everyone's saying, "Oh, this means Aiden Hutchinson is going first." I'm like, does it? Do you remember who the Lions took with their first round pick last year? Penei Sewell. They had Taylor Decker, Frank Ragnow. They have a good old line. This doesn't mean anything to me. I'm just a little surprised. I guess they're all about getting Trevor Lawrence healthy, keeping him upright. So that was a little surprising. Orlando Brown, you traded a first round pick for the guy. You got to keep him under every circumstance. And all the tight ends, it's just cheap to do it like that. What's $10 million bucks for a good tight end?
What's interesting about Mike Gesicki, of course, they're tagging him for as a tight end. He's going to get $10.9 million. The difference between tight end and wide receiver tag is almost about $10 million.
Is it like some Jimmy Graham level stuff, right?
Hey, but I think he has a better case, Max. I think he's like 90% of the time split out wide. Like
I read
they compared it to Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I read that too online. And I was like, well, that's crazy.
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna get it though.
No, Jimmy couldn't get it. I read on a transcript of Jimmy G's, or did I hear about it? I can't remember. I read or heard about it, and someone was like, one of Jimmy Graham's own like team members said he sucked at blocking. That's why he's not a good. That's why he should be a wide receiver.
Well, he did that on purpose.
He to try to get that money. Yeah, that's awesome.
Right.
That was really the high point of Jimmy Graham's career, fighting with the Saints to be a wide receiver.
Yeah. But all the tags I kind of seen, I was saying it in a yearbook. A lot of these guys, like the Orlando Browns and the Devontae Adams, these guys are just not meant to hit free agency. Like these type of guys just don't hit it.
But you know what's surprising about that? And it's a name not up there. J.C. Jackson didn't get tagged.
That's crazy.
Hit the market.
I mean, it kind of scares me because Bill Belichick just. I mean, do you question Bill Belichick? Yeah.
What does he know?
Do you question Bill Belichick's fucking coaching at cornerback? I think he knows a thing or two about
No, maybe he's got like a secret gambling addiction that we're going to find out about in a couple weeks.
Oh my God. Sorry. Great fire transition.
I don't know.
So Calvin Ridley, recent news, that started it off on Monday. Suspended all year next year. Dunzo for gambling.
Maybe he listened to you talk about parlays and was like, that sounds fun.
Probably. I mean, $1,500, my guy.
Not worth it.
And you lose out on 11 mil?
At least go out on like 500,000, bro. Like, come on. Don't be betting. Don't like rob a bank of a nickel for 10 years. Like, at least try to get like 10 million for 10 years of jail, bro. Like, go big or go home. That's what I'm thinking.
So for the audience at home, why is this bad? Give me your opinion on it. Do you hate him? Is he
dumb decision for sure. I don't think he fixed games or anything. I don't think it was that bad. I saw a video and he's like, "Oh, why didn't he score?" I'm like, I don't really. I feel like he balled out that year too. He had like 1,400 yards.
Do you like the punishment?
Yeah, I think so. I like it because I think they're making an example out of him, and it seemed like he did it when he took that leave of absence from the team, which is good to hear. It wasn't like he was playing and then doing it.
Right.
But we've talked about this guy's trade value offset, and we're like, man, this fool's got it. He's gonna have to get paid one. He's 28 years old.
Yeah.
He didn't just lose 11 million. He probably lost like $60 million because now that contract's a year later. You just lost 10 million. Teams don't want to invest big money in a 29-year-old receiver, especially one who just kind of got suspended by the NFL for a year. So, I mean, do you think we'll see him back in the NFL? I think so, but all that momentum he had, it's just gone.
And he's already an older player. It's not
That's what
like
I'm saying.
he's
He's like
super young.
29 when he comes back.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Not even
NFL
off
did
his
the
rookie
right thing.
contract.
Yeah, the NFL did the right thing. Suspend him for the whole. It's all about the integrity. That's what it is about. In my opinion, it's the integrity of the game. Once you lose that, there's no substance with the NFL. It's just like, oh, whatever. Like there's already conspiracy theories out there right now. Talk about games are fixed.
Yeah.
And whether it's an official coach or player, you just can't stand for stuff like that.
Do you think if he only bet like $300, the punishment would be the same? I think it would because it's
Yeah.
about the action. It's not about the amount.
Yeah. And
But I'm sorry to say, like, you just made a very dumb decision, bro. I hope Calvin. I don't think Calvin really is a gambling addict or whatever, just because it was only that little. His tweets
right.
were kind of weird. It was like, why are you tweeting this out? Like Kanye West, like, just shut up about it and make a statement.
Yeah.
That was what I found weird. But hope his career's not over for this. Seems
I
kind of
mean,
bad.
I do want to say this though. People who are saying like this is such a hypocrite type of thing with the NFL, because like they gamble on shit. Like the NFL, especially this year, it was so big on advertising.
DraftKings,
Yeah, the
what's the other
FanDuel.
one? FanDuel. Yeah,
Yeah,
here's the
all
official.
that shit. Like sports betting is fucking as big as it can fucking be right now. And it's only gonna get bigger. So a lot of people are like, what the fuck? Like the NFL is all about betting, but like their players can't. Again, it comes back to the integrity of the game.
Also,
That's
one
what it is.
they tell you you're not allowed to do it. So it's not like he
Also,
didn't know.
Max, these players get paid a separate amount because of that stuff. They get paid an amount for all that gambling shit. Like the NFLPA. That's another thing. So it's not like it's just like, oh, everyone else is getting to make money, but not us. It's like, no, they're making money still. Don't worry about that.
I think the best way to sum it up was bad decision. It wasn't worth it. Pay, do your time.
No.
You did the crime. Now do the time, I guess.
23-hour lockdown.
20. Yeah, King Kong ain't got shit on. I guess King Kong does have shit on Calvin Ridley. Man, I can't believe that. It was shocking. It was like, are you kidding me? Are you serious? And
Right
everyone was
when we're
making.
putting them in trademarks.
Oh my god, dude. We were talking about this guy. I feel like Patriots are interested in Calvin Ridley. Suspended the whole year. Okay.
No.
Dude, him and Josh Gordon are gonna be good friends if they ever play together.
Yeah.
Talk about those years off from the league.
It's gonna be crazy. But I think that's gonna do it. We appreciate you guys rocking with us for this emergency podcast with the Russell Wilson trade and all that stuff, man. We're on a grind right now. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Make sure to hit that like button, smash that shit, spam it up. If you guys are new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you guys are already subscribed, you know the deal. Unsubscribe, resubscribe. It fucks with the fucking analytics, and it's funny to say. Audio listeners.
I like that.
Audio listeners, go ahead and catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you guys get your podcasts. We are on there. Go ahead, 5-star rate us, follow us on there, subscribe, Instagram, Twitter, at Max_JuanCast. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. We are out. Peace.